Hey, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Vertex Steel String Supreme slight return version. So this is a variation on the Steel String Supreme by Vertex. Let's kind of look at where this pedal started. So originally, the original production of the steel string pedal was in 2018, and there was a limited edition run of the slight return version. This is a slightly Texas flavored tweak of the circuit. Then we have the Mark II steel string, and then the Steel String Supreme, which adds the output section of this amp in a box. Now we have, in 2021, a limited edition slight return version of the Steel String Supreme pedal. This is all based on serial number 001 Dumble Steel String Singer, which is an iconic, very clean amp famously used by John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jackson Browne, and many others. This is not a high gain overdrive by any means. There's a lot of tweakability on this pedal, and it's all to do with feel and snap of the low end, glass of the high end, and where it breaks up. Some of the unique features of this circuit allow it to be ran in front of an IR cab emulation or an amp modeler to give more of a natural tube feel and a lot of tweakability on the EQ. In full disclosure, I'm famously a lover of all Vertex effects, and anything Mason has his hand in I think is pretty amazing. I have the original Mark I steel string pedal on my main board. It's been there since 2018, and it's my go-to first stage overdrive. Now with this Steel String Supreme, with a lot more tweakability, I can see a lot more uses out of this pedal beyond just a first stage overdrive. So let's take a look at some of those features and hear what this pedal sounds like both in a clean and an overdriven amp platform. So let's talk about the rig a little bit. I've got my burnt Strat with Custom Shop 69 pickups. I'm going straight into the Steel String Supreme, and that's going straight into the Deluxe Reverb. We're in the normal channel. Here's my clean tone on the neck pickup. You can hear the bridge pickup is really bitey in this guitar. Here's some in-between pickup positions. Alright, so we're going to start with everything flat here, and we're going to just listen to the original steel string circuit. Again, this is a slightly tweaked circuit for the slight return version. I'm going to turn the gain up just a little bit. So you can hear we're starting to get a little bit of breakup. Let's listen to the gain down a little bit and pushing the amp a little harder with the level. So there's a lot of honk. We've got some roll off on the low end. I think I typically prefer the gain up a little higher. Again, this is such a low gain pedal. With it working a little bit harder and not pushing the amp as much, we can hear the pedal a little bit better. Alright, so let's start diving in to the Supreme side. So we can run this independent. So we've got an output control, a fat level, a clean level, and then we've got these two three-way toggles. So we have rock and jazz and then neutral, and then we have neutral, bright, and then a boosted low end. So we're going to turn on the Supreme. Everything's at noon and the toggles are in their neutral position. Compare that to the clean tone. So we've got more definition is the way I would describe it. We've got a little bit of glass added, a little more snap to the low end. Let's play around with the clean and the fat blend, and then we will mess around with some of the toggle settings. So I don't know how much is coming across here, but the feel is wildly different. The blend between the two, the more you increase that fatness level, there is a kind of compression on the low end. It feels like the low mids are a little more present, but then once you kind of max out both the clean and the fat. There's a lot of compression there, and it all has to do with just the response and liveliness of how hard you're digging in. I think to best hear how these are being utilized, we're going to put the steel string on, and that's going to happen in front of it. Again, the Supreme is more of the output stage and the power amp side of the Steel String Singer. So we're going to engage the steel string, and then we're going to play with some of the settings in the rock and jazz and the bright and boosted low end. So you can hear there's still not a ton of gain, and I have the gain quite a bit of ways up. I'm also pushing the level on the steel string side, and I'm kind of controlling the output on the Supreme side. What I'm going to do now is try to get the gainiest sound I can without incredibly boosting the volume, because the amp is set so clean. There's a lot of headroom there. So I'm going to try to get as much gain as I can, and then we'll quickly listen to the amp set on more of a dirty sound and how the pedal interacts with the amp then. So you can hear it's still really clean. It's more of a fat, clean sound more than an overdrive sound. And I have the level and the gain all the way up on the steel string side. I'm boosting the filter a little bit. I've got it on the rock and the bright setting. Let's listen to neutral. You can hear the low end is boosted quite a bit there. Let's listen to the boosted low end. You can hear the sustain that this pedal gives you is pretty unreal, especially for a clean sound. And that's part of what's iconic about that Steel String Singer amp, is that you have this really bold, very clean, with a lot of filtering and a lot of tweakability on kind of the response to the guitar, but it adds the sustain and boldness to your clean sound. So almost the response is that of a mild overdrive, even though the sound is still very clean. It's not clipping much at all. Let's get the amp on more of a dirty sound and listen to how this pedal reacts in that environment. So now we have the amp set a lot dirtier, so let's listen to the not so clean sound. So you can hear it's breaking up, but it definitely can clean up as well. So we're going to start with the steel string side here. We're going to listen to how it responds with a dirtier amp, and then we'll listen to the Supreme side alone, and then them stacked as well. Now we'll turn the gain down a little bit, push the front end. And let's listen to the Supreme side. Everything's in neutral and at noon. This is a great sound. An already slightly overdriven amp, and using the output power amp side of this amp in a box with the Steel String Singer, so much tweakability with both of the three-way toggles, and then the blend between the clean and the fat. That compression, all those things are kind of coming to life audibly the same way that you can feel them with a more clean high headroom setting on the amp. Let's stack the steel string on top of the Supreme sides. We're getting both the preamp and the power amp sides of this pedal, and we're just going to blend some different things, and then we're going to get to what I would consider misuse of this pedal and get as much gain as we can out of it, and then dial it back and see how clean we can get this overdriven amp sound with a lot of dynamics. about as much gain as you can get out of this amp with this pedal pushing the front end before it starts really just kind of imploding in on itself. Let's clean it up a little bit and listen to how that bottom end and that glass really shine through, even with the amp overdriving quite a bit. So you can hear that there's so much flexibility, especially when the amp is breaking up just a little bit even. There's a lot of flexibility with this pedal. The filtering is incredible. We got to the point where we were really pulling as much gain as we can out of this and hitting the front end of the amp with a lot of level and causing it to overdrive the most it can with a pedal like this. That was a misuse of this pedal, but just to demonstrate what is kind of capable with this, I wouldn't use this pedal as my go-to overdrive pedal. What I would do is put it after my drive section on my pedal board, use it as a master EQ, be able to use that filtering, get the response that you want out of your clean sound, and add that really magical response of a Steel String Singer to your drive section on your pedal board. We also didn't even tap into the capabilities of using this truly as an amp in a box, going straight into an impulse response loader, maybe straight into the front end of my interface, or a cab IR pedal. There's so many capabilities with this, and I think it really shines on tweaking and fine-tuning your clean sound to respond with your guitar in the exact way that you're looking for. And also with a slightly overdriven amp, if you've just got one or two drive pedals and your amp isn't crystal clear, there's not a ton of headroom, this is a great way to add a lot of flexibility. You get some mid-push with the steel string and a little bit of drive and a lot of tweakability on the compression, the glass, and the snap of the low end. On the Supreme side, more of the output section of this amp. Ultimately, I think that this is a really powerful tool, and it's something that you can take a magnifying glass to and really fine-tune exactly what you're looking for in a response with the guitar and the feedback between the guitar and an amp. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, I please ask that you like and subscribe to this channel, share it with friends. You can visit my website, colinlittlejohn.com, or see my Instagram at colinlittlejohn. This is a new channel. I've taken a break for a little bit at the end of 2021. I'm excited for all the things that we're going to do in 2022. We've got a load of pedals to demo. We've got some amps and some other cool projects to look forward to. Till next time, I've been Colin. going straight into hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Hey, amp emulation. Hey, how's it going? In today's video of the Steel String Supreme. Hey, Vertex. So let's talk about the rig. Not all pedals are built alike, and so setting the knob at noon doesn't mean that that's going to be the most middle point of the control necessarily, or even that that's where a good starting place is. But for the sake of this demo, that's what I'm doing. But I definitely don't recommend doing that with every pedal that you get, is setting it at noon and then kind of deciding from there, because that might not be where the manufacturer suggests.